carry on with John Paul II.
Carry on.
We're going to talk about Fides et Ratio,
Bingo.
et Ratio, an encyclical by Pope Saint John Paul II.
Yeah.
He wrote it in 1998. For those whose Latin is a bit rusty, Faith and Reason.
Faith and Reason. Yeah.
Fides et Ratio. And also kind of a little, insider baseball on the naming of encyclicals and papal documents and stuff. They're not titled as like books or articles. They're not like clever or like clickbaity titles. They're usually like the first couple words of the first paragraph. Translate. Yeah, exactly. So if you're wondering like, how do they come up with it? It's literally the first words.
Although, of course, hermeneutic circle stuff, right? You might think, well, when they're picking those first words, they know they'll be the title.
That's true,
right?
too.
So they're probably, so it's a bit, but there is no title to it. It's just the first couple words.
Right,
to it.
exactly. Yeah, which is helpful too, because then you kind of...
You know the start of it.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So anyways, why don't you... So I already said, did I say written in 1998? Or
that's
at least
right, that's right.
Published? Did they publish them?
Promulgated,
that's probably right, in 1998. It addresses, surprise, faith and reason, what they are, and particularly the relationship between them, how the Catholic and the Christian mind ought to engage with these... They're not topics, but things like the idea of faith and the idea of reason, and how they interplay together. So why don't we start? Let's just start. Do you want to read that first paragraph of the encyclical?
I mean, here we'll get the title of it.
Us, yeah.
So it is, of course, the encyclical letter of the Supreme Pontiff to the bishops of the Catholic Church and the relationship between faith and reason. But he opens with this phrase. He says, "Faith and reason are like two wings on which the human spirit rises to the contemplation of truth. And God has placed in the human heart a desire to know the truth, in a word, to know himself, so that by knowing and loving God, men and women may also come to the fullness of truth about themselves." It's packed. It's a beautiful opening to it that not only has the two wings image, the analogy that you require both these things, but also that you're flying to a particular purpose. The aim of it is to know and love God. And then it's kind of between faith and reason, you have this God and man dialectic, such that he keeps returning to ourselves, such that it's we who have a desire to know the truth, but that was placed in us by God, so we aim at God, but in knowing God, we know ourselves. So it's this nice kind of reciprocal, by knowing God, loving God, we learn to love ourselves and know ourselves most fully, and therefore that leads us back to loving and knowing God who has created us in his image, this sort of thing. Yeah,
there's a lot of both and going on here, right? So we have like the both and of faith and reason, of course, but also as the encyclical unpacks a number of other things, so like the both and of natural and supernatural knowledge of truth, of coming to know the truth. The both and of coming to know God, and in light of coming to know God, as you were just describing, coming to know who we are as men and women, and that again leading to that sort of knowledge, that cyclical relationship of knowledge. But also not just knowing truth, but love in that too. So like knowledge and the intellect and the will, all of these kind of things together. So like you said, there's a lot there just to sort of like set out, what he's going to talk about and unpack.
Father Jacob-Bertrand.
Father Gregory.
A Dominican, a Franciscan, and a Jesuit walk into a bar. One of them asks the audience to subscribe. That's not a joke. Any ways you can improve upon it?
Just don't tell jokes.
Right. This is not a joke. Please subscribe. Cheers.